Secretary come and deliver a post-briefing after our successful provincial Lekgotla. Sanda, these are colleagues, members of the media. I'm now handing over to you to deliver the post-Lekgotla briefing.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Let me start by appreciating and welcoming members of the media who have joined us. We don't take it light. We want to appreciate your presence, and we're going to read out a statement of the Limpopo Provincial Executive Committee Lekgotla. The Limpopo Provincial Executive Committee Lekgotla convened from yesterday, Monday, the 16th February 2026, to today, 17th February 2026, to deliberate on key organizational priorities, assess governance and service delivery challenges, and strengthen program interventions aimed at improving the lives of our people. This Lekgotla is also the last Lekgotla of the 10th Provincial Executive Committee. The PEC Lekgotla is attended by the NEC deployees to Limpopo Province, PEC members, RECs, PMTs, alliance partners, ANC leagues, VL, Women's League and Youth League, the broad mass democratic movement, esteemed royal leaders, MPs, MPLs, MKLWV, SASCO, COSAS, and deployees in both provincial and local government and other invited guests. The meeting took place against the backdrop of the devastating floods that have affected many parts of Limpopo, resulting in the destruction of infrastructure and the displacement of communities. While the full extent of the damage continues to be assessed, the ANC knows the swift, compassionate, and coordinated response by the ANC structures and the ANC-led government in supporting affected communities. We also express our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families of those who lost their lives through the devastating floods, and we appreciate the government response to all the flood-affected areas in the Vembe and Mupani districts, as well as some parts of Sikukuna and Capricorn areas. The recent floods in the province have exacerbated the public infrastructure backlog and put additional strain on the limited government fiscus. The Lekgotla also coincided with a period of significant national reflection. This year marks the commemoration of the 70th anniversary of the Women's March to the Union Building, the 50th anniversary of the 1976 uprisings, the 30th anniversary since the adoption of the South African Democratic Constitution. These milestones serves as a reminder of the historic sacrifices made and the enduring responsibility to advance social transformation, equality, and justice. The PEC Lekgotla is convened at a time when the province is mourning the untimely passing on of two senior traditional leaders, Hosi Mwamitwa II of the Valoi Royal Council and Hoshi Tsepu Cecil Maja of the Maja Traditional Council. Their formidable legacy is a shining example of courage and tenacity. Participants of the PEC Lekgotla expressed their heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and observed a moment of silence in their honor. The PEC Lekgotla welcomes the President's directive on the implementation of the speed train between Limpopo and Gauteng province. This speed train is not between Gauteng and Limpopo. It's between Limpopo and Gauteng province. There's a difference between Gauteng and Limpopo. It's between Limpopo and Gauteng provinces because we are so sure that construction is going to start at Muslim. We are very so sure as the province that the province is going to be prioritized. After deep, frank, and insightful presentation, following a long but highly engaging 2 days of robust political engagement, the PEC Lekgotla was enriched by honest and reflective discussions. The PEC Lekgotla resolved that 2026 marks a decisive shift from planning to execution, from fragmented interventions to coordinated delivery, and from incremental changes to visible, sustained impact in our communities. The ANC PEC Lekgotla is therefore directing its deployees in government to redouble their efforts in rendering services to our people. Ward councillors are urged to convene community feedback meetings frequently and convey service delivery challenges to rapid response teams regularly. The provincial government and municipalities are directed to ensure the massive rollout of infrastructure and water provision should be prioritized in this regard. Water authorities should establish war rooms in collaboration with their water boards to deal with water shortages and interruptions properly, and ensure that all incomplete projects are completed as a matter of priority. Our projects that are multi-phased and completed, the Lekgotla direct the phase 2 of such projects to be completed as a matter of urgency. We had this meeting after Limpopo experienced floods that destroyed infrastructure and displaced communities. The extent of the damage is untold, and the response provided by the structures of the ANC and the ANC-led government was swift, caring, and kept us connected to our communities. As part of accelerating and stimulating economic growth, the provincial government is directed to package a comprehensive agricultural support interventions, including, among others, the provision of tractors to small-scale farmers and increasing the number of agricultural extension officers to deal with the spread of foot and mouth diseases. The provincial government should explore the construction of Polokwane International Convention Center, and the government and Polokwane municipality should commence with the strategic engagement. Job creation, industrial revitalization, meaningful participation of communities in the economy, and addressing headwinds in the province are essential to ensure that we are able to contribute to the growth and job creation of the province. The Lekgotla knows the rise in GBVF-related cases in our province. Consequently, the Lekgotla calls for the speedy finalization of such cases. The Lekgotla appreciates the PEC decision to launch a GBVF campaign and further appreciate the decision that GBVF should be a standing item across all our structures in the province. The Lekgotla appreciates the significant drop in unemployment in the province. The Lekgotla supports the provincial government initiative to fill government posts and further directs the government to create an enabling environment for the private sector to create jobs. The filling of vacant posts in government must be done within a reasonable period. The Lekgotla also supports.
We are now going to afford colleagues an opportunity to can raise questions in light of what the provincial secretary have presented. Like as usual, you will indicate your name, the media house where you are coming from, and then you will then pose the question. Soon thereafter, will allow the provincial secretary to respond to all questions that will be posed. Let's start with the process of identifying those who want to have issues or questions in relation to the provincial secretary's address. I'm going to start at the back. We will take only one and only follow up if it's necessary. 1, 2, 3. Let's follow in that sequence.
Nagmando, CBC News. On the bullet train, when it happens,
It is not a speed, it is a bullet.
you know, it's used interchangeably.
Okay.
Bullet train. I'm saying,
If that can be said by me, I'm going to be mocked already.
I'm saying when it happens, not if it happens. When it happens, there will be spin-offs. You know, it's an infrastructure project, and then, you know, along the route, many jobs will be created, particularly for the youth. that would be appreciated. But my concern is its affordability. Will it be able to compete with Santaco? At least Santaco, because Santaco is like the cheapest mode of transport interprovincial. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And follow.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Foke Jumudao from the CBC News. I just wanted to ask you about the readiness of the province in terms of, hosting the upcoming provincial electric conference, and when are the people allowed to make the pronouncements in terms of the candidates that they are supporting? Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Gwinda. I'm representing Energy FM and Trace FM. I've got only two questions. The first one, possibly maybe you can see why Mr. Thomas addressing the issue of water. What is it that you have agreed upon in terms of addressing this issue, because it has become a very serious problem in the province, even national for that matter. And then the second one, you have said a number of things. For an example, to say that you are insisting that councillors must always make sure that they have meetings with communities. And one will agree that it's not for the first time that we're hearing this thing to say councillors need to meet with their people. This time around, how are you going to make sure that indeed it happens? Because it looks like it has not been happening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Some those are the questions. You can start.
I'm trying to move to the questions you have identified with you. Yes, the spill of course, with regard to SMMEs and job creation in this province, they're going to be huge. And our understanding, this thing of the split trade in this province, it was not proposed by any province except us. It's us in our PGC who proposed this thing going to the national conference in 2022. We, the PEC of Limpopo, went and met the PEC of Gauteng to lobby them. We were 4 officials and 5 officials of the PEC at Gauteng. We lobbied them about the speed 3. And when we announced this thing of the speed 3, we were laughed. We were laughed at. No, it's a daydreaming speed 3 Limpopo and Gauteng. And then our provincial governments started now to initiate a process of doing feasibility study, because national government was taking time to come to party, and that is when national government then intervened and said, no, you can't do that because we are there to convene and coordinate work of provinces, and then they take charge of the entire process. And we are happy that request for information, 30 companies have already provided information with the National Department of Transport. Now there is a request for proposal which is out now. We are going to monitor that situation at a close range, because we think this speed train is going to be affordable to our people. Remember, we are a rural province. Majority of ourselves and our people are poor. So it will be meaningless for national government to provide a speed train which is expensive. When we are saying part of the strategy of providing a speed train to this province is to try and avoid high volume of traffic in an N1, which is only 2-way lines, and from Polokwane to Musina, it's a 1-way line. And it is costing lives of our people. And we want to at least avoid that traffic in the N1. So we think it's going to be affordable, but on behalf of the people, we are there to try and monitor every step that government is going to do with regards to this speed. I can assure our people that this thing is going to be affordable for them to use it. If it's not affordable, there is no reason for government to erect these things for people, because people will not afford it. So we are talking on our part as the province of Limpopo, and we are happy
And we are going to make it possible that construction starts in our province. We don't want a construction that is going to be delayed by some other people, because it's us who want this big trade, the both. So we with regard to that, that is our response. Our readiness to Poketo 11th provincial conference, and whether people now are allowed to announce their candidates or their candidature. I don't know which one is which, whether you want, whether am I now allowed to say I'm available, or people, branches, are they allowed to say, no, we support Madani? Both. Okay. Now, when it comes to conference, we use guidelines. Once a structure, in this instance a PEC, takes a decision that we are going to convene a conference on this day and this date. Now, you are saying to structures of the ANC, please open up and start lobbying each other. Now, you will lobby each other, and you will then suggest candidates that you want to serve in the PEC. Now, for me, as an individual who are standing or not standing, for me to accept a nomination, I must wait for an agency that is appointed by the PEC to open the boxes. Because currently, we don't know who are the people that are being nominated until the boxes are open. Yes, we hear, we're not so sure because the envelope is closed. Kokecho can even say, no, I've nominated you, Madaje, and I go home happy. Only to find out when they open the envelope, I am not nominated, they've nominated G. So structures now, they are able to say, yes, in our branch, we have nominated them. We have nominated Comrade G. But candidates, they must wait for the right moment to say they are available or not available. But knowing comrades of the ANC, some they preempt, they normally disclose their availability and their non-availability before the process can be concluded. There is nothing wrong with it. We may not even try and waste much of our energy encouraging comrades to do that, because it will be impractical for us to say to comrades, wait for inside the conference. So comrades, they are lobbying each other, including candidates. They are also lobbying structures to say, I am available as a PC member, don't forget me, etc., etc. It's that period we must allow all our structures to undergo that process so that we can have a smooth conference. The Lekgotla position with regards to water, it's very simple. It's very simple. The Lekgotla has identified that there are still projects that are old projects that are not yet completed. And I'm going to give you an example of those projects. One is a project called Putama Sintumule Bulk Water Line. Two, it's a project called Mameta Sikororo Bulk Water Line. Three, it's a project called Muse Bulk Water Line. These projects, if they can be unlocked and start to give communities water, half of the problem of Limpopo will be solved. If we can open taps for these three projects, half of our problems in the province will be resolved. Almost close to 60% of our matata can be resolved if the refurbishment of electromechanical components in Ebenezer Dam can be fast-tracked, because it is having an impact on the water supply in the Polokwane CBD and the surrounding villages. And when there are interruptions, you then have the municipality and the water board issuing contradicting statements. And in the helm of those contradicting statements, both of these boards, they are managed by the government of the ANC. and we have intervened in such a case to say, no, you can't have, around 6 in the evening, the municipality issues a statement. 6 o'clock in the morning, the water board also issues a statement. But we don't have a problem of them issuing a statement. But contradictory statements, they are a very big problem to us. Because it's like entities that are fighting for their space. When legitimately there is a line between a water board and a water service authority. What a water service authority does, the water board does not do. So it must be very clear with regard to those issues of water. That's what we are saying, Jimmy and because I got this thing of calling journalist comrades. I was reviewed. The journalist said, no, I'm not a comrade. I said to him, comrade does not mean a member of the comrade means a person who is your friend in a particular struggle. We can be comrade. Now that Quina is talking about water, he can join me in this struggle of providing water to the citizens. Then he becomes my comrade in a water sphere. So that is our position with regards to water. A councillors meeting with people is like it's regurgitation, because this thing, the ANC is always saying it is because it's part of our doctrine. It's part of our tradition as the movement. We don't want public representatives who are not accountable to their communities. And we need to continuously remind our public right to continuously engage their communities. We are not going to get tired of reminding our public representatives to go meet community, because communities, they have got challenges, but as well, they have got solutions. Government alone can't bring solutions and enforce solutions to people, because people are going to reject solutions that they are not part of. And the main reason why we are saying our councillors must have these compulsory monthly feedback sessions with their community is because we also want community to hold our public representative accountable and say to us, you have been saying these things, but these people are not coming to us, so that we are able to intervene. But I can give you an example. There is a program in the country. It's done by Sukukune District. It is called Taking a Councillor to the Community. The regional secretary of Sukukune will take one ward councillor of that ward and say, I am here community, here is your ward councillor. What is the issue? Is he reporting? In many instances, other councillors were found wanting. There was a community which demanded that a regional secretary of Sukukune must bring a mayor, because they've been struggling to get hold of this mayor for 6 months. And the secretary of Sukukune took that mayor to that community. And we are here. We are saying our doors are open to our communities. Communities where they know that the public rep or the council is not convening meetings. Let them make us aware so that we can then intervene. We can then direct our structures to take those councillors to their communities. So remember, in this province, the ANC structures branches, they exist in all 568 wards. We exist in each and every ward. Even wards where we are not in charge, we are accountable to that community. We're not going to decide those communities and we say, because you have elected this ward councillor from this purpose, let him be. We have got a PR councillor whom we have assigned that ward. That PR councillor must go and give it back to the community. So in the province, I think by now, you are aware that we are governing all 27 municipalities. Though in Tawazimbi, it is called a minority government because we've got 48%. The minority government in Tawazimbi because we've got 48%. we run short of one councillor or two councillors to have a majority. But it's us who are governing there, and we are going to attend to some of the issues that are there in that part of our province. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm going to allow only one or two follow-up if there is any, but if there is none, it's only one. This is the only one follow-up that will take Msanga, and thereafter we'll then adjourn the meeting. You can introduce yourself, the media house, and then pose your question.
Okay, my name is PEC Lekgotla. I am a reporter with Limpopo today. I am particularly charmed by the significant decline in unemployment. Now, I wanted to find out what are those figures that you're able to capture, and whether were you able to establish whether it's the private sector or the public sector that has had an immense contribution towards that. My second question is the bullet train or the speed train that you are referring to. Is it part of an integrated public transit system or a standalone? And if it is a part of an integrated public transit system, has the taxi industry been onboarded on this important initiative, because they are likely to lose customers? But then if it's integrated, it means then that they work as a feeder towards that that system. My last question is, the Lekgotla, you are saying that if this initiative you mentioned around water are resolved, 60% of the problems would have been taken care of. Now, did the Lekgotla arrive at characterizing the water issue as a crisis? Because this is a human rights issue, and if 60% of that is hedged at 60%, and you're saying that then your problems will be resolved, means then that the vast majority of people are trapped in a crisis, or as you characterized earlier, that at 6 p.m. there's a press statement, which means that there's something that happened at 6, and then at 6 a.m. it means that there's a cycle in the 24-hour where people are faced by this issue of water. Thanks.
Yes, the issue of the decline of unemployment, what are the contributing factors? In the province, it's mainly as a result of agriculture, as a result also of mining activities that are happening here. Well, there will be a bit of a contribution by the public employment. You know that those figures are done quarterly, and they also cover even people that are also casual and laborers, etc., etc. So those are the contributing factors towards our unemployment rate dropping in the province. But even if you check the provincial administration, how they are moving with speed when it comes to filling of the vacant positions in the public service, it's something that is also commendable. The integrated transport system, you want to know whether the taxi industry, are they now involved? Remember, ours is to issue out a policy statement. Government must go and then implement, including consulting people who are the relevant role players in that industry. But I can give you an example, just a practical example. This speed train will be moving from Musina to Johannesburg, and the people need to go to each station. Who takes people from village to those stations? There will be no local small speed train that will be moving around the villages. It means the taxi industry is still an important player to make sure that this system works as a one transport mode system. Now, say for instance, you want to go to Cape Town, you are from Musina, you want to catch a flight, then you will board that speed train at Musina. Come and get a drop off at the airport, and then get into a flight, go to Cape Town. and you fly from Cape Town coming back to the province, and then they drop you here at the international airport, and then you catch again a speed train to Musip. So that is how the system is integrated. So it's not a single run system. It's not going to be possible that the speed train is just going to be managed separately from all the public transport system that we have, including the buses and taxis. And our taxi association, they must not be worried about it because it's something that we have tried to also make sure that we protect the lives of our people. You know the accidents that are happening on the N1. How many lives are we losing? How many brothers and sisters and neighbors and friends that we are losing on the N1? Not losing them also with private vehicles, because with accidents we must not blame public transport only, including the private privately owned vehicles. They are involved in accident. What is the problem? Is that our lanes in the province, they are compacted. It's a fact. And from Pulukwari to Musina, it's one lane of the national road. And we are busy pushing national to also look at the issue of the N1. But currently our priority is for us to push this thing speed train, because we think it can also resolve many challenges that we have. Now, we have characterized water as a crisis long time ago, my friend. Long time. If you were coming or speaking, I've never done a media briefing without water, and I will never do it without water, because water was identified by us as the PEC as the challenge and the problem of this province. At least other provinces, they are talking about pipe bursts. They are now complaining that 2 days without water. Here we are talking about communities that do not have water perpetually. And it has been a cry of this PEC, talking to our deploys and our government, that we need to move with speed when it comes to water provisioning. Because you have got areas that do not even have a pipeline. And those areas, they voted their government thinking that their government is going to provide them with water, and their government is us. And in this province, the people of this province, nationally, they voted ANC at 74% national in the national ballot. The ANC got 74%. So we don't want to get into the nitty-gritties and problems of the GNU, etc. But here in the province, they've given ANC, ourselves, 74%. And those communities, they are within their right to demand to us as the ANC that give us water, leave these things of what you are doing, because all our sources currently, water was presenting the Department of Water. All our sources are full. Some of our sources in Mupani and Wembe, they are even more than 100% full now because of the floods. But communities around, they don't have water. And ourselves at the ANC, we have been speaking to all our public representatives. I don't know how many times we have called executive mayors of district municipalities that are water service authorities to direct them that attend to these issues. At least we are behaving that there is a bit of an improvement in Mupani and in Sikukuni. Now we are following on November, which we think within this period, the 11th PEC must come and take over from us and move with it so that Rembe can also unlock certain projects that are still blocked. So once Rembe unlock that, at least we'll have a bit of a shape in the province. But to us, my brother, the issue of water is not pipe burst, it's not a systems failure, it's not about the capacity of the pump station, it's about us reticulating our communities that are not reticulated. Other communities are reticulated, but they don't have bulk water line. It's something that we are so ashamed of. That an entity of the ANC will go and reticulate an area without knowing where they are going to get water from. It's something that is so embarrassing. And it's something that we are on top of it. It's not like we are lamenting. We are in charge. We must be held responsible and accountable. We are in charge of all the municipalities in the province, including the provincial government. And national government has come close to try and help us. And we appreciate the help and the support that we are getting from the Ministry of DWS with regards to this issue of water. We will get it right. We'll get it right.
Thank you, Slam. It's a burning issue. I thought that was the last hand, but fine, you can come.
But Sanda, I don't know what are the projections. What Polokwane will look like in 10 years. The growth of the city and its townships. You know, yes, the bullet train speaks to the national artery, which is the N1, to mirror the N1. But what about the movement of people between Beggarsport and Leboa? Leboa, Polokwane. Polokwane, Taflo. Polokwane, Muligi. Don't we need metro rails in between, apart from talking about the speed train? Because the internal congestion, that's what I'm saying, I don't know what that project, but it doesn't look good. 2035, movement of people and cars here in the city will be a problem.
No, it's not a big issue. I think, sometimes ourselves as politicians, we are tempted even to respond to issues that we don't have facts, which is very dangerous to us, because I'm going to be held accountable by you. SABC is not going to chase you away. So I'm going to help me about promising people better and what. So I don't want to enter into that frame, save to indicate to you that you will know that the road between Leboa and Beggarsport has been improved. You know it very well.
Yes.
We have improved it, we have added the lanes, we have even added street lights. You know it very well. And we have even made some intersections of the roads. It is because we were trying to respond to that kind of an issue. Everything stands here. There is nothing on top of my table which suggests that there must be a metro rail from Leboa to Beggarsport. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying currently, because I must not make some populist rhetoric to people, and tomorrow I'm held accountable. I say, no, you are dealing with me, etc., etc. What we need here in this province, we need integrated transport system. You also need municipalities and the provincial government to plan for its citizens. Now, if we are going to wait every time for SONA and what, then we're going to have problems, because if you look at how Polokwane it's growing as a city, you will understand that this province, this municipality in some few years to come is going to be a metro. Whether me and you will be governing or not, but it's something that you will not try to avoid, that Polokwane becomes a metro. But what did we do ourselves to try and stimulate the economy of Polokwane municipality? Is that we have directed our provincial government to start with this concept of looking at construction of Polokwane International Convention Center, so that big conferences are not only held in Durban, Cape Town, and Johannesburg, so that you also have people who will also come to inland and at least experience the warmth of the inland side of the country. So that is what we are doing, to try and also boost the economy of the province, but also boosting the economy of the city. This thing that Polokwane, it's because I know what your question. It's part of the question that I was asked at Nganalone, that the presenter there was saying the Polokwane municipality is planning without considering where it will get water. It's impossible. There's no way that they can plan without knowing. Water is a balance. That is where water is for Polokwane. And part of 10% of their water, they must they are producing it themselves at Polokwane municipality. But major chunk of the bag, they are buying it from Lepelle Northern Water. And it is the responsibility of Lepelle Northern Water to secure their lines. Currently, which is the truth, which is the fact, the line is tampered with, which is supplying water from Ebenezer to Polokwane. And Lepelle is tempted to want to blame Polokwane when they are the ones who must secure their land, because Polokwane is buying water from there, and that is the problem. And the other problem that we normally have is to tell lies to communities. We issue statements that are not effectual, that we just want to pass the buck. I don't play that kind of game. I tell things as they are, so that tomorrow I'm here or I'm not here, at least people will still hold me accountable. This is what we once said. And I am telling you now, we know that line is not secure. That's the best thing. Second is that they had a project which was not known, which they call it replacement of electromechanical equipment. So when they tamper with the system, when they are replacing them, they must shut down the system of providing water to the CBD. If you shut down Polokwane for 2 hours, the reservoirs get empty within 2 hours, because reservoirs are not filling up in Polokwane because of people who have tampered with the line. They are always at between 50 and 60%. There is no reservoir which will fill up to 100% in the CBD. And those are the facts that we must tell our people. We tell them the truth, even when it is the truth that they don't want to hear. Let us be bold and courageous and tell them the truth, that there is a vote here. They are only filling to 30 to 45%, and mainly because of these things that I'm raising. But we are attending to the issue. Premier has been tasked by this PEC to continuously coordinate Lepelle Northern Water and Polokwane municipality. She did that last week. And that is why you can see now the system has stabilized, because she was able to convene a joint meeting of everybody, and then they resolve their issues. Saying what I'm saying, I'm not saying we are unable to resolve the issue. I'm just saying it is important for all of us to have a background of the issue. So that is that, Jimmy. I think the comrades and the colleagues, I provided them with even information that was not necessary for them.
Thank you, Alexander, for such over information which limited within their questions. Colleagues, thank you very much for you to have honored this invitation, and for the fact that every time when we invite you, whether during short space of time, you make yourself available, and as the ANC, we are not taking that for granted. In due course, we will be issuing invitation for those who want to cover the proceedings of the provincial conference of the ANC, and we hope that you will also enlist yourself and keep the public informed. By so saying, this media briefing is officially adjourned. Thank you very much.